everyone. So, you are experiencing almost all the small therapies of wellness because we were advised by Param Puja Gurudev that they should learn, they should at least experience every single therapy what we are giving at wellness. All the our UK Patanjali Yogpeeth Trust trustees and all the yoga teachers and all the honorable members of Patanjali Yogpeeth, United Kingdom, London. Okay. So I think you have experienced Shirodhara, Nasya, Yajya Chikitsa, acupressure. Some of you may have gone for acupuncture, ozone therapy, okay, Vata Mokshan, Guasha. That is for the pain, yeah. In that they will put a stone. It's a 800-year-old stone. They will burst your micro blood vessels and venules and new blood circulation. You have to learn. Just I am telling you the therapies names what we are giving. Guasha or Vata Mokshan. Vata Mokshan is for pain relief. Vata is the cause for pain and neurological disorder. Excessive Vata. As per Ayurveda, all of you are listening to Param Puja Gurudev, Param Puja Acharya Shri regularly. And Vata, Pitta, Kapha are the three doshas. Three dosha. Once all the three in equilibrium in the body, in total equilibrium, then only we can say the person is healthy. Okay. Accordingly, naturopathy also, the Panch Mahabhutas. Oh, Panch Mahabhutas are Akash, Vayu, air, Agni, Jal, Prithvi. Okay. Prithvi, Agni, Jal, Vayu, Akash. Five elements as per the Indian mythology, also as per Indian Ayurveda, as per Indian yoga system. All the three. So these five elements our body is composed of, and with these five elements only, the three doshas are coming up. So Vata, Pitta, Kapha. So with these five elements only, our whole earth is made up of, our whole body is made up of. As we all know, our whole earth is also 70% is water, like sea water with lots of salt in it and all the aquatic lives. Okay. Similarly in the body. Similarly in the body. How? Because our body is also at least 60 to 70 or sometime more, 75, 80% up to the water. So water is present in every cell of the body. Okay. So 30 trillion cells, up to 30 trillion cells continuously forming and continuously destructing naturally also. This process is called as apoptosis. APOPTOSIS. It's cellular death, timely. So this moment only all of us are having, millions of cells are dying and millions and even billions of cells are generating at this current moment only. Every red blood corpuscles in the body, RBC, is dead after 120 days. So like 4 months and your one RBC today it's there, it's not there. It's destructed in your spleen and it's gone out through the liver route and through the intestine, gone out in bilirubin, biliverdin, iron element is free. Okay. Similarly, in 365 days in 1 year, why we make our birthday? Have you understand the concept? Like every single moment, our body is regenerating, rejuvenating. Likewise, every 365 days, almost 90 to 99% of body cells are being replaced. Even permanent cells like bone, everything is continuously regenerating, rejuvenating, continuous process. No cells are like this is permanent and this will remain from right from the birth till 100 years of age, this same cell will function. So cells have tendency to regenerate, regrow, and to repair itself. All the three ways. Okay, so new cells are forming, all cells, all tissue, whichever is low or damaged tissues, damaged by our lifestyles, damaged by our food habits, damaged by psychosomatic stress, anxiety, depression, negative thoughts, excessive negative thoughts, insomnia, not sleeping on the right time, or not getting sleep in the night, or delayed in the sleep. That's in all things, these small things in the lifestyle. Small components. There are almost 500 to 1000 small components which are having direct or indirect effect on our body, on our cell, or on our all the panchakoshas, like your mind, manomaya kosha. So in yoga we say that adija vyadi and anadija vyadi. Adija vyadi is our ailments, our disease, our disorders, our pains, vyadi, as per the Ayurveda, as per the yoga. So as per the yogic philosophy, so the root cause of any particular disease or disorder is not exactly has to be there in the body itself. Okay, adija means the root cause is there in the mind, manomaya kosha. It has affected the pranamaya kosha, disturbed the panch pranas in the body, the flow of energy, the pranas. You know, as per the Ayurveda, we have nadis. Nadis are just like nerves, but they are cosmic channels of energy flow. Like they say, 72,000 is the minimum nadis in the body, main, and up to 10 lakhs, 1 million nadis. Nadi is not equal to nerve, but this is cosmic channel of energy, including the different chakras. And main nadi out of that is Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna. I'll tell you that. So Ida nadi, Pingala Nadi, and Sushumna Nadi is coming right from the base of the spine in between. It's again cosmic, but now they are proving it with the science also. And this is coming right from the base of the spine, taking care of all the chakras to the Agnya, our Sahasrara chakra, Agnya chakra, and having a junction in between both the nostrils. Okay, so this is Sushumna Nadi as per the yogic philosophy. So this is the main Nadi where we work. Jo apna Hatha Yoga is there for the uh, evolution of pranas, right from the Mooladhara chakra to the Sahasrara chakra. Once we are enhancing our prana shakti, so there is separate yoga for that. The chakra yoga, all the this we don't go in deep, but that is how the yogis in the ancient Indian, the Vedic era of the India, they used to practice the yoga to get the moksha. Okay, so ये सब बताना इसलिए जरूरी to know all these things, how exactly being normal human beings we can basically first avoid any disease or disorder, keep a balanced state of mind, balanced state of mind, and again with that only ideal lifestyle, living a yogic based, natural based, naturopathic based. Ayurveda also teaches the same. The Swasthrita is first part of the Ayurveda. It's social and preventive medicine. How not to get any disease or disorder in your body. That is the first thing which Ayurveda teach. Ayu Veda. This is Veda for healthy aging. Healthy aging. You should be aging without any physical or mental or emotional or spiritual ailments in the body. So that's how we can be in ideal state of being. Like the in the yoga also the innermost innermost kosha is Anandamaya Kosh, the state of bliss. So actually yoga also teaches us first thing, once a baby borns in the comes into the world, okay, he or she cries, but again natural smile comes. So Anandamaya is we don't bother about anything about coming into the world, but we remain happy from the inside of the mind, and that is the nature of the soul. Inherent or continuous happiness, joyfulness, without any wavering. That is the nature of the human or any soul. Okay, that substance. Okay, so that also we learn from the yoga, and these practices, physical practices we do, that takes us slowly to that path from normal human being to the spiritual human being, or from that to the superhuman being like our yogis, like our Param Pujya Swamiji. That's how we should get motivated. So I was telling you about the health hazards. Now what we usually face, you all have come from the UK and someone from Germany. So what in all things which actually bringing so much effect to the body, to the mind, to the community, you are observing daily. And now you have experienced 3-4 days of therapies also at Patanjali Wellness Haridwar. And with Swamiji you have attended yoga also. With Param Pujya Acharya you have met, you have heard his lecture also yesterday. So these things, how they are affecting us in very deeper manner. Now latest science and technology, that we have to understand why we are getting disease or disorder, continuous mental problems, we are getting so much of excessive thinking, so much of excessive cautiousness. We are not at ease mentally, we are always hyper excited, exaggerated, sometimes very low, very depressed. That's how mind nature is like a monkey. As per the yogic philosophy also, mind is always like a monkey. How? It goes in the future, in the same moment, it goes in the past. Immediately. Maybe you all are sitting here, now your mind, oh, I forgot, I missed my that therapy today. Oh, tomorrow what will be there in the morning? We have to wake up early, 4 o'clock again. So this is how the nature of the mind is. It's continuously jumping here and there. Okay, so yoga again teaches about keeping our mind wherever in the present moment, 100%. Meditation is for that, Tratak is for that, Yoga Nidra is for that, Brahmari Pranam is for that, Udgit Pranam, Omkar Dhyan is for that. So these and all things again lower the wavering nature of the mind, future and the past, which past is gone anyways, we can't change a single second of movement of it, and future is we do not know the next second what is going to happen. We are, so ideally we should be living in the present, but not even planning unnecessary stress. Tomorrow I have to do that, this, that, so much. That overburdening of the mind is basically now, as per the World Health Organization, also, we are getting 99% of disease as non communicable disorders. What I told you just now, Adija Vyadi, or in modern science we call it as psychosomatic disorders, mind to body, mind to gut. Mind is not just the brain. Brain is the organ which generates the thought. Mind can be anywhere in the body. Mind can be, now you can, if you have the pain in your calves after the calf massage, so your mind will be in your calf at that moment. Okay, once you are taking the Shirodhara, sometime your mind have so many thoughts, so many of overburden of thought. But after that, somewhat you go to the subconscious mind, your mind get relaxed, then you be at the moment. Then you can feel actually the relaxation nature of the moving of the Shirodhara oil. Okay, so that jumping monkey nature of the mind, continuous thought, that is the nature by default. It will come, but minimize it and enjoy the present moment in inner bliss, in the state of Anandamaya Kosh. That is all we have to learn as a person for the life. Okay, and we should teach that only to our children's grandchildren and their children's. Okay, so now wellness, how we have made this, how Swamiji and Parampuji Acharya have come to this, that wellness now taking off the whole systems of medicine, right from the tradition Indian. because this is a lifestyle based system of medicine. Yoga, naturopathy, ayurveda, है ना? This is not just directly we are giving normal. You all are, you have are covered under the insurance under the UK government. Now there the system, doctor will refer, okay, get tested, then they will give to the pharmacist for the medicine. They will write some salt. You will get a medicine. You think that any problem, hypertension means just you have to take medicine and it will manage or it will cure. It's just managing temporarily. Again, the medicine doses are increasing. Again, your blood pressure is raising, and again, kidney problems are coming. But it is not at all curing the cause. It is not at all reversing the disease or normalizing your body. It's just the maintenance. Same with the diabetes. If anyone has fluctuating blood glucose, you take metformin, you take sitagliptin, teneligliptin, whatever the salt modern they are giving. Okay, but that is just the maintenance. It's trying to control your blood glucose level in particular range. But again, if you are not exercising, if you are having a high glycemic index food, you are having more chapatis, again the blood glucose, even after taking the medicine pills, again you are getting. Is it curing the disease? No. And the doses are continuously increasing, and again it is affecting your foot, feet, diabetic foot, eyes, vision. It's affecting kidneys, nephron, diabetic nephropathy is happening still after taking the medicine. So you think that most of the diseases and disorders in today's world, once you're going there, you're just getting a particular set of medicine and you think that I'm fine now, I'll be okay with this. But we are not trying to reset. These are just disorders. Something in the body is not in the right order. That's why there is some disturbance in the insulin production, or insulin resistance has been developed in the blood in the diabetes, or your C peptide has been lowered. So many things. These are just disorders due to something in your mind, due to something in the body, your levels are fluctuating. Okay. So that is disorder and disease. Again, it's a big difference. Disorder can bring back, we can bring it back into the order. Once we are in the correct lifestyle, correct food habits, we know the calories we are intaking, we are taking all the vitamins, minerals as per required daily allowances, then everything is all right. We are doing the ideal workout, exercise, our input and output are being balanced. Suppose you are taking 3000 calories in a day, and we are, your body weight is ideal 3000 calories, but you are spending only 1500 kilocalories in one day in physiological movements as well as in your workout. Then what will happen? Daily 1500 kilocalories you will get, and it will accumulated in form of adipose tissue or fat, and again in long term it will start harming the body. Okay, so that's how the fat actually deposits. We gain fat in that manner only. We are taking more of the glucose, it's unutilized, input is more, output is low, then we start gaining the weight. Opposite of it, once we are losing weight in certain disease or cancers or lung problem, any problem, if we are losing, so first fat loss will be there. Similarly, our muscle loss will be there, your weight will be reduced. Your calorie intake may be okay, but your digestive system is not well. Your body is not able to take the calories from the gut and assimilate into the, metabolize in the liver and bring to the even carbohydrate, fat or protein, anything to the body. So this is loss of the weight. Okay. So stored carbohydrate or glucose, fructose, sucrose, in whatever format we are taking, it gets stored, and from the liver, if it is high glucose, it converts it into the fat continuously. And even now you are fasting, many of you are only on boiled lauki, lemon and methi water, soft methi water, panchamrit pe, different things, very low calorie diet here. Initially you may be facing some issues that, oh, I skipped my meal, I'm not getting anything in my food. What is this? Okay, many of you have come to us also saying that, oh, I'm not getting my tea. I'm not getting a single chapati, single one roti, one or little bit of rice. Yeah. So still your body has some glycogen as a stored. 3 days of glycogen, glucose converted into glycogen. It's stored in the liver, 20% in the liver and in the cells, body cells. And after that, the fat metabolism starts. The stored fat. Anyone may have some reserve fat or some may have less reserve fat, but all of we have a bit of fat. So once 100% fat utilizes, then only the muscle starts breaking. That is the harmful range. Protein, energy, malnutrition. That is muscle loss. There we should not never reach. Okay, so fat is ideally required in minimal quantity, but once we are overweight, we should try reducing it slowly. Okay, so this is again, these are basically excessive fat, excessive glucose, excessive cholesterol, triglycerides, LDL, VLDL, bad cholesterol. Okay, excessive our cholesterol in the arteries, in the maybe in the heart or in the body. Heart, it's called as atherosclerosis or deposition of cholesterol, atheromas, plaque formation in the blood vessels around the heart. Okay, so these and all things are just temporarily, and what we have come across in all the years of continuous staying and treatment at our Yogram facility, right from 2010, and then Niramayam, our VVIP center at Niramayam in Yogram, and at the Patanjali Wellness here, and we have 28 other centers all over India, OPD and IPD, which are giving similar same pattern of therapies, integrative pathy of therapies to a person for their particular disease. And even here, many people are coming like you who may not be having any physical or mental ailments. They are just coming here yearly once or yearly twice, maybe about 60, yearly two times, 10 days or 7 days, just only for the detoxification, rejuvenation, and servicing of your body, mind, and soul. Servicing is also important because you go to your car service or your bike service or your even your bicycle service yearly at least 1 or 2 times. Okay, once we are moving similarly the case of the body, you are the soul residing in this body, we are all. Okay, this is, we think this is our body, but body is a part of us now. Our soul is living all over this body, so we say this is my body. But uh, see, this body is getting affected with many things because of the different lifestyle. I again told you before, small lacunae we have in our lifestyle. Like simple things, we'll start all the wrong things what we are doing, then we come to the correct thing, then the therapy part. Okay, so in the lifestyle, so what is exactly lifestyle? Certain habits which form our lifestyle routine. Okay, so habits like, first is waking up and sleeping time. So what is most ideal, what is non-ideal? So all the time, because ideal time of sleeping for adults and onwards, about 60s, so that is night anywhere in the world as per the sun timing, definitely, but ideally we should sleep by 9 to 11 p.m. at the night. That is ideal because sometime in US there is 16 hours day, sun is always there. Still, we should get 6 to 8 hours. Ideally now so many researchers are coming saying that 7 hours and 8 hours of deep sleep is must during the adulthood, 18 to 60, and even 1 or 2 hour you can add above 60. Like ideally if you want to live 100 years of healthy life, fitness, no physical, mental, or any kind of emotional or spiritual ailments, then you should be having a good deep sleep. That is the first thing. But ideally we are getting less sleep once we are gaining the age above 40, then slowly above 60 we are getting so many of other issues also, prostate enlargement in men's, and female also post menopausal different symptoms, then vat rog, that gastric troubles, and osteoporosis. Okay, so and anxiety and depression without any work unnecessarily at the age of 60 70s in women, that is more common. Okay, so this is actually affecting the whole routine, the sleep wake up cycle. That is very important. First, try to maintain that. So, once you know the ideal, then you try to maintain, then you get the benefit out of your lifestyle. So, ideally, we should sleep by 9 to 12. 11 is maximum. As per I'm talking about the India, there somewhat is different as per the season climate. Yes, we can modify that. And we should wake up 1 hour before sunrise. That is actually Brahma Muhurat. But again, that changes season to season. Long day, it may be long, and short day in winters, it may be short. But still, ideally, 3:30 Indian time, you can count your time, 3:30 to 5. That is the ideal time to get up. As per all the scientific studies, proven studies. Why? Because it's linked with certain things. For gut, that is the ideal time. 3:30 to 6 is the ideal time to cleanse your gut naturally. So body repairs itself in the deep sleep, in the REM sleep, rotatory eye movement, and non-REM sleep. Two types of sleep cycles we have. So once in which we are in deep sleep, we are seeing some dreams. We are in the deepest state of sleep. So whole reticular endothelial system, it's repairing and rejuvenating and detoxifying our body continuously, healing the nerves, healing the dead tissues, throwing out all the dead cells, repairing the cells. Hair fall is happening in the night time. The collagen is repairing it, vitamin C, ascorbic acid, citric acid, body is helping. The cells are being repaired. So this deep sleep cycle, once we are regularly taking, it's naturally detoxifying your body, naturally repairing your body, naturally rejuvenating our body. So that is the first important thing which we must look and try to sleep ideally. So once we wake up, we should be within 15 minutes, we should be completely fresh and energetic. Early morning, if you wake up like here, 4 to 6, you are with in yoga hall or you are doing your yoga at Valmiki, that hall. So that time you feel so much energetic and fresh. Once we get up late at the home, sometimes it's too cold. So we are waking up around 8, 10 a.m. Okay, directly having your tea or coffee and directly taking the breakfast. That time you sleep, the energy level in the body. Your gut is again slow. You don't feel like to go to loo. Okay, your body is again lethargic, low energy. So that is actually a difference between waking up at the Brahma Muhuratam, Jagrate, to wake up at the Brahma Muhurat 1 hour before the sunrise, or ideally 3:30 to 5 a.m. in the morning, and or waking up early after the sunrise 1 or 2 hours. Okay, so there is so many different in the physiologies also in the body. So that is all we need to get up early in the morning.